live
at the Polar Plunge. This is so exciting, and we have a very special guest.
I'm going to let you introduce our guest this time.
We have Brenda with us. Good morning, Brenda.
So good.
You flew down from Arizona.
Yep.
Sorry, our music's kind of going a little bit louder than I thought it would still.
The challenges of live.
Correct.
The challenges of live.
That's okay.
So you just flew in. How was your flight?
Yeah, flight was good. Very
Good.
nice. Left the warm weather up here.
Come plunge in the freezing cold weather. Okay, all right. Huge shout out to our sponsor, Mike from Odd Mo's Pizza. If you guys have yet to try them, they are phenomenal. They're Reggie Veggie and Green Monster, potato poppers.
Potato poppers. Everything.
It's so good there. So definitely go check them out.
Yeah, and a huge shout out to Mike.
Yes.
Yeah, so last week, speaking of Mike, our second sponsor, we were there last week.
Oh, yes.
We weren't live, but we recorded at Ventas.
Yes, that's right.
And, you know, it was amazing to me. I'd eaten there. It wasn't like I wasn't new to the menu, but it was sure amazing to be in the kitchen and the smells as he cooked that burger.
Yes.
And then our wonderful producer, Ashlie, was now our waitress, and so she brought it out. And when you cut that, oh my God. And I saw the look on your face. It had to have been amazing.
It was amazing.
Amazing.
It was phenomenal. I went back later that day for lunch again.
Yeah, well, we'll thank Dino again in the second half, but we were at Ventas last week.
Yep, so that was super fun.
I know that Brenda could add some wonderful thoughts to this magazine because a lot of what we do is inspired by what Brenda does.
Yes.
But this week's food is quinoa.
You know, I don't think I've ever tried that, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah?
Okay, good.
Well, I'll tell you what it says, and I'll let Brenda add her thoughts here. Quinoa is the best kind of plant protein. A complete protein with all the amino acids our bodies need. It also may reduce cholesterol levels, according to a review of research. A half a cup of quinoa has 6 grams of protein.
Wow. How do you enjoy it? I like how it says that.
Yeah, so how to enjoy it? There are so many ways to savor this. One is a grain bowl. One to try is avocados, vegetables, feta, and fresh mint drizzled with olive oil.
Okay, interesting.
Then overnight quinoa. I've actually done these overnight quinoas too. What are your thoughts on quinoa, Brenda?
Well, quinoa has a lot of protein, which is great. Quinoa is not actually a grain. It's actually a seed.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people have trouble with grains, can enjoy quinoa a lot. You want to soak it first and rinse it because it has kind of a bitter outer coating on it, on the seeds. You want to rinse it first. And you know when it's done, when the little tail kind of comes out on it.
Okay.
And you eat it kind of like rice. So you can do anything that you want to do with rice, you can do with quinoa.
Oh.
It has a nice little nutty taste to it. So rinse it first, nutty taste, yummy.
Okay.
Yeah, do it. Get some.
There we go.
Okay, perfect.
Well, and I'm excited that where we're at today because you and I met at this exact same location 3 years ago.
Yes.
Right? So this is a really wonderful reunion for us. But my update for the listeners is actually on the back of this shirt.
Okay.
And again, if you're listening on the radio, you can't see the shirt. So please go to YouTube, go to Kickin'Cancer Productions, subscribe to our show.
Well, hold on. We're also live on Facebook right now.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
So not only do they have to wait until YouTube, but they can check it out right this second.
Yeah, so if you're listening on the radio, go to YouTube to Kickin'Cancer's Facebook page and watch us.
Yes.
But our shirts are our Kickin'Cancer and the Icy Water team shirt.
I like it.
And the back of it is our announcement of Go Team Ashlie.
Yes. Okay.
So Ashlie will be plunging with us today.
That's awesome.
But even better is April the 11th is the Cancer Awareness Basketball game.
Okay.
She will do the ceremonial tip-off.
That's awesome.
May 30th is the Cancer Awareness Baseball game, and she will do a ceremonial first pitch.
Okay.
And June 2nd is our golf tournament, which we'll talk more about in the second half. And this year's golf tournament is in her honor.
Perfect.
So there's lots of fun sports things coming up, starting with the plunge today.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, perfect.
Well, Ashlie makes our 33rd Go Team.
Okay.
You know who our first Go Team was?
No. Oh, Brenda, duh. Sorry.
Starting things off.
I knew that.
So our very first Go Team 7 years ago was
That's
Brenda.
crazy.
7 years ago. But the listeners that have followed this show for a while, they realize that Brenda's cancer did come back. It came back a second time, and then it came back a third time. And I've tried to give updates, but I thought it would be way more important and accurate, Brenda gave you some updates.
Okay.
So, Brenda, tell us how you're doing, what's going on.
Yeah. We can do an update, and maybe we could do just a super quick recap, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Probably good to tell them that haven't heard.
Pretty well since we've gone through that. So 9 years ago, I was diagnosed with metastatic invasive ductal carcinoma. So we knew at that time that there was a good chance things would come back. And I did have some testing and a mastectomy, and so did a little bit of surgery, but at the same time I changed a lot of things, hoping that that would help to curtail the time period in which it would come back. And I have had a recurrence about 2 years ago in the same area with breast cancer, and then a year ago again, and it had mutated, and at that point had gone to the cutaneous area, so it was cutaneous breast cancer metastasis. So the derma is like your top skin, and right under that is the cutaneous layer, and it was breast cancer that had moved to cutaneous. So
I'm going to interrupt you just for a second. I'm going to let you tell Amanda, and I'm going to give one of our teammates just showed up to our run. I'm going to get her t-shirt.
Good.
But keep talking to Amanda.
Yeah, we'll keep going with it. And so that was where that was at that point, and we're just kind of keeping vague at everything, and those particular markers are looking really well.
Okay.
But interestingly
then you're on the back.
some things are developing
Oh,
a little
like
bit
it.
in both
Nice,
of
nice,
the lungs.
nice in the center.
Yeah.
So we're
Good to
just
see you
keeping a
again.
good eye on that. It's not
All
real
right.
large yet.
All right, we're live, so I'm going to jump back on the radio.
And keep it small. And if that's the case, then we will be able to just continue what I'm doing. But at this point, that's what we're monitoring is the lungs.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you find out that there was something in the lungs?
Just about a month and a half ago.
Okay.
So very recent.
Okay.
Yeah, something new that's developing there.
So
something
I
that-
got back to the time because I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
This is new news to
It's
me.
kind of new, kind of new news. I'm just kind of letting it out. So
Yeah.
everyone's hearing it at the same time now.
Okay. So there's some development in the lungs.
Yeah.
Fluid development. It's small, but because I've had 3 episodes of cancer and because it is metastatic, they're watching it more closely than they would some other people. So,
Okay,
so
good.
there was that as far as kind of a recap. And at that point, I realized I need to be kind of the CEO of my own company and my own body, you
Yeah.
know, my own company,
Amen.
my own body, and be able to set myself up in a way that I could monitor myself for all the things that I needed to do, because I just promise nobody cares about your health as much as you do. You know, your doctor has a lot of things to do, and he doesn't care about your health as much as you do. So you really need to become the CEO of your own body and make all of the changes that you need to make. And that's what we espouse in Kickin'Cancer right here, is to be managing your health and monitoring your sleep and changing your diet if you need to work on some of that, and managing stress and getting positive social support. And that's what we do here at Kickin'Cancer, is giving support and giving education to people. And that was kind of how it started 9 years ago with that, and then about 7 years ago we're setting up Kickin'Cancer together.
And there's a phrase that Mickey Meisner uses quite often. So for listeners that are relatively new to our organization, we have our first chapter, our first community up in Vancouver, Washington.
Yep.
Mickey Meisner has been a guest on the show several times. She is kind of leading the charge up in Vancouver, but she says it's time to take your power back.
Yes.
We, and when I say we, I mean collectively as a society, we have given that power to the pharmaceutical industry, to Western medicine, and we follow their lead because we believe it's right, and it's not proven to be true.
Right.
So Brenda and I started getting cancer. I want people to hear what she was doing to save her own life,
Yeah.
but we want you to know what you can do to take your own power back.
Yeah. Like we've been doing.
Like we've been doing.
Yeah.
I mean, you've made some amazing changes in your family. I know our producer Ashlie has made great changes in her family
Yeah.
too, right? The other thing that's interesting that I had to step away for a second, but when Brenda's cancer came back for the first time, I was just telling her yesterday, I vividly remember exactly where I was when I got the phone call, because I knew it was metastatic. So I knew it wasn't a case of if it came back, but when it came back. Didn't make it any easier to get the phone call.
Right.
But I had to go to a meeting down in Eugene, and it was this pizza. Brenda knows the spot. It's this pizza restaurant in Eugene.
Yeah.
And I get this call, and I ignored it at first because I'm in this meeting, but then she calls back. I'm like, hey, maybe it's important, but I should take it. And I pulled myself away from the group, as she told me, because it was just really hard to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Well, then, and that would have been about October or November, except the honoring evening, which we'll talk about later in the show, but the honoring evening 2 years ago, you were at that.
Yes.
And she was our keynote speaker.
Yes.
And I thought you very bravely told 80 people that you didn't know that your cancer was back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think my point of that is that I could feel like people could say, wow, you made all these changes and your cancer still came back. What do we have? What's our hope for that? And my point was, yes, but it came back in one known location that was operable. That's amazing for metastatic cancer to come back like that. And so I felt like all the things I had done to helped it keep to a very small location that was operable and could be located, and to give other people hope to say, look, the changes you make really do make a difference.
Yes.
And you can see the difference in your life. It doesn't mean that everything's going to fall perfectly in line. There are so many factors in the world to make a difference with that, but you can do a lot to change as much as you can with your own situation. And that was my message of hope, to be able to help with people. Even though, yes, it came back, look how small it came back, and look how easily it was to deal with under the circumstances.
Well, I think the other message of hope that you gave people that night, and you might remember this, you had, I think there were like 8 or 9 different honorees at that event, each of them with their own situation, their own journey, right? And you began to realize the miracle for you, because it did come back in the same place. It did come back operable.
Yeah.
And you said you need to find the miracle in your journey.
Yes.
Find the miracle in your... I thought it was a great statement.
Yes.
You know?
And staying positive with it and continuing the course.
There's going to be a lot of things in there that are challenging. But there's also going to be a lot of miracles. And we just need to hang on to all of those and realize those are there for your benefit. Learn from them and move forward on them. And that was something that I always felt was strong for me, is seeing what someone else had done, researching it, which I'd already done a lot of research even before I knew I had cancer, amazingly enough. And so seeing somebody do it, learning about it, and then applying it to my life, and then spreading it to somebody else and helping them. And that's kind of our message also, is like, see one, do one, share one, help somebody else. And that's what I want to empower people with, is learn something that you've seen someone else do that's been positive, that's helped them, that's benefited from them, apply that to your life, and then spread it onto somebody else so that they can gain that benefit as well.
Yes.
The phrase we've used a lot on the show is save yourself, then each one teach one. And it was really exciting to me as I began to get to know Amanda as a person, as a friend, and see the changes in your life.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden to see those changes go to your husband Bo's life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so it's that save yourself, then each one teach one. And then, then we meet Ashlie, and then Ashlie comes on with the staff, and then Ashlie comes on. Oh yeah, come on Ashlie, Ashlie. we got to get you.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I mean, Ashlie's another perfect example of she began to make some changes, and now she is passing that to her kids. And I firmly believe that at her age group, her kids' age group, if you move forward 25, 30 years, when those kids are now in their 40s and 50s, and they made the changes when they were 10 or 12, that's how we get rid of cancer.
Exactly.
Well, and the thing is, they know that. At this age, they're learning it for themselves. When we were younger, we knew what we knew, which was none of this. Like, we just ate the Pop-Tarts, and you grabbed the Cheez-Its, and you just didn't know the difference. Nobody told us. We didn't understand. If you can understand that as a youngster, as you get older, you're making your own choices, and you know what you've learned, and you're able to apply that. We're learning it at such an older age. We already have all of those preconceived issues in our body that we're trying to overcome. Golly, if you could try that when you're 10, 12, 15 years old, start adding that to your life, how much better you're going to be when you're in your 30s and 40s. And spread it to your children as they're born. So you're going to have healthier children all the way around.
Yes.
Well, I think the other thing that's happening in our society, and it's very, very unfortunate, I do think we have some things. This is not a political show, so I won't go too far down that path, but there are some things that I hope will make some changes in the positive.
Right.
But the food that Brenda and I ate, because, we're a little older than you, so the food that we ate when we were young is not the same food you're eating. It's the same brand, it's the same label, it's the same product, but it's not the same food.
True.
Not even close.
Not even close. And so and I'll just use Pop-Tarts as an example, because we would go on road trips as kids, and we'd have Pop-Tarts as treats, right? Except what a Pop-Tart is now versus what a Pop-Tart was in the 70s and 80s is not the same product.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a lot of fake food.
Much more fake food now. I mean, it wasn't great.
It was
in the
closer
70s,
to real food back then.
but it had less ingredients than it does now. And so at least you got that benefit to go with it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, we're just thrilled, not only that Brenda's here, to plunge with us that she's still here, like literally still here.
We're crazy.
Yes.
We're all crazy.
The water is freezing cold.
Yes.
But it's all for a good cause, and I'm excited to see there's tons of volunteers up there and people getting ready to do the 5K run.
Yeah.
Tons of vendors and booths. It is not too late to hurry. Come down here and sign up, right?
So funny that you just said that. I got a text this morning. Jackie Roche and her husband Alan signed up this morning to be on our team.
Yes.
So our team has grown even bigger. You know, I'm going to shift from our show. I'm going to be the weatherman here for a second because weatherman. Well, we're standing at Illahee Golf Course's pool, and as I look back towards the course, there's a fog level back there, and it's definitely cool right now. But the weather forecast says that this is going to break, and by the time we plunge, it's supposed to be 58 degrees.
Okay.
Not that the water's going to be 58, but this fog bank is going to lift. Oh my gosh! Ashlie is on her way in. There's our go team. There's our go team. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that Ashley's on her way in. And then Ashley's friend Carissa is also on our team. She's the one that nominated. This is so exciting. We just got to get her in here. So.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's awesome. We've got about 5 minutes.
About 5 minutes. Well, I think the real key right now is to let everybody know that this is the Polar Plunge, and we are here. This is Go Team Ashlie. Her husband David is plunging with us. Hey, Ashlie, come here real quick so we can get you on the cameras. Come on.
We're glad you're here.
Yeah, we're so thrilled. This is Go Team Ashlie right here.
Right here.
Yes.
Glad I made it.
This is awesome. We got a few minutes left still.
Yeah.
So maybe a little harder with your mask. How are you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal. It's actually truly amazing, the technology of the new stuff that they got going on right now. So they said that my cancer wouldn't start to shrink or anything for 45 days if I was one of the 3.
Okay.
But I started seeing it shrink within a week.
Wow.
It's the new TIL therapy. They clone my cells, and it is phenomenal.
So she has the exact same cancer that Russ had.
Yes.
And it went to the same places.
Right. Yes.
But the technology is actually killing the cancer, which
that is.
And you said you could actually feel it happening.
Yeah, I could see it shrinking. And so the best thing is, so my PET scan, the place where it's getting smaller is the place where it was biggest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing.
So you have now met Go Team Ashlie.
Yes. Nice to meet you.
Well, we're going to get ready for a commercial, and I'll get you your shirt here in a second.
Thank you.
Awesome. That's amazing.
Good. Oh, that's been a great
So you
event.
guys, this is such an awesome event with amazing people surrounding all of us. I highly encourage you guys to come down, sign up at the booth. It's $25 to register and to jump. You can either pay that yourself or you can have someone pledge you. All of the money goes directly to Special Olympics, so 100% of the proceeds.
So I'm seeing another good friend of ours. This is Jessica Carpenter. You're actually live on camera. You're live on camera right now. Yeah, I met Jessica sometime back, and then there's Olivia,
my daughter,
an ex-board member, Vanessa. Come on, Vanessa. So really, we are right now. We're down here. The cloud bank is going to lift. It's going to be beautiful. There's still time to register. Come on down and plunge. And the reason that we're plunging is right here. This is why we're plunging right here.
Are you an athlete for Special Olympics in Marion County?
Great. So I think they can probably hear you, Jessica. So what exactly does she do?
Olivia participates in bowling. Her nickname is Bolivia. Track and field and basketball. Those are her sports. She's been doing it for about 8 or 9 years now.
Okay.
Well, awesome. As of this morning, our team hit our goal. We're at $5,000 raised.
Thank you to everyone who donated. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. The athletes in Marion County and the state of Oregon really appreciate all your support.
All right.
Very nice.
Well, are we at commercial break yet?
Nope, not
yet.
We're going to go get
few
ready
more
for the
minutes.
5K.
All right.
Okay.
We'll see you guys later.
Go run, ladies. All right.
That's awesome. They're such a heart of the Polar Plunge.
Oh, yeah.
I adore them.
When I started this organization, I had zero background in nonprofits, and Jessica Carpenter stepped in and taught me so much that first year. She worked with Brenda to help kind of get some social media. I mean, literally, we had no experience in what we were doing, but we had an idea. So I could not thank her enough. And when she brought the plunge here, we're going to plunge with Michael. He's on our team.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
Michael's on our team.
Yes.
So I did this for Michael Brown because Michael is a special athlete. But I also did this to support that lady.
Yes,
Bolivia. She loves to bowl.
Bolivia.
Yeah. And I think she just had her 21st birthday.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, and the other thing, hopefully Ashlie can spin the cameras. This is really awesome. So Carissa over there and Ashlie and her husband Dave are doing the 5K, and they're going to push Ashlie through that 5K in that wheelchair.
Oh, that's cool.
That's how committed they are to the 5K. Is she's doing the 5K.
Cool. Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We still got like 2-3 minutes.
Okay, we still got a few minutes. Well, what I will do at this time is I want to look up here and I can see the registration area. Mattress World is up there.
Yes, I got a coffee mug from them last year, so I can't wait to go spin their little spinny thing.
And I think they have their little inflatable mattress up there. ServPro's a big sponsor, so they're up there. One of our former board members works there, Amber Flamon. Okay. She works there. You can't see it, but I know it's there, right there towards the starting line. My other job is the baseball, and they brought Crater.
Okay.
So Crater's the mascot for the Volcanoes.
Yep.
He's at the starting line to root the runners on.
Okay, that's awesome.
Several of our teammates have already stopped to get their Kickin'Cancer in the Icy Water shirts. Okay. Because they're going to do the 5K and they're going to plunge.
How many people do we have on our team?
We're up to 24.
Wow, 24.
We're going to line the entire side of this pool. I'm hoping that we can all hit the water at the same time and just create a tidal wave. Right?
I'll be on that end.
Yeah, we will all be on the shallow end. Yes, and so just for the record, Brenda was on Terry Soul's show yesterday.
Yep.
And she made him a promise that she would not get him wet. But you know what? I didn't make that promise. Yeah. Terry is going to get wet.
Terry's coming and jumping?
No, Terry's not jumping. No, he's going to be here with KBZY.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no way he's jumping in.
Terry?
No splashing.
I'm going to
The only person of the three of us that agreed not to get him wet was Brenda. But you and I didn't make that agreement.
I did not, Terry. Sorry.
We love you, Terry, and I'm thrilled that Terry can finish his career doing what he loves to do.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Like zero hard feelings at all. But we love Terry tremendously. But he will be here because one of the owner of KBZY is going to plunge with us too.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, so we have a really great community plunge team.
We do.
And I think the cameras can pick this up. On the back of our shirt, these are the businesses that are plunging with us.
Okay, so we've got Salem Audiology Clinic. That one I'm not going to try to say. Citizens Bank.
It's Palousca.
Radio. Palousca Property Management. BBSI. Jiffy Lube. Volcano Stadium. Miller's Barbecue, and KBZY.
Yep.
So awesome.
So we have a community plunge team today.
I love that. that.
Well,
of course, I came all the way up from Yuma, Arizona.
Brenda left 90-degree weather to jump into 4-degree water.
I'm up here to do this. So have to wonder about that. Indeed, wondering about the brain and how it's working.
Be a big
we'll see when I get done.
Because we're used to this colder, chilly weather, where you are not.
Right. Yeah. I'm coming from the heat.
My grandma lives in Arizona, and I talk to her a few times a week, and she's always like, 70 and sunshine in the middle of winter.
It's completely inappropriate because several people had turned the air conditioning on in the month of February. So it's very warm there right now, and I'm definitely bundled up here to try to handle the cold here. But it's nice, but it's interesting.
Did I hear you correctly? They turned the air conditioning on in February?
In February. A few people had to.
There's something wrong with that sentence.
Fair.
We were in the high 80s, and we're in the low 90s right now. So I'm looking for a little bit
90s.
Right, and so I'm looking for a little bit cooler weather. It's inappropriate in February to be sitting in the high 80s and low 90s.
Oh man.
Give us a little bit longer before that hits.
Yes. And after we do the polar plunge here, we're gonna shuffle on over to the honoring evening tonight.
You truly are the segue queen. Mm-hmm. You truly are, because it's almost commercial break. When we come back from commercial break, we have another special guest that's going to jump on here with us. Devin Grogan's agreed to come down and talk on the show. But we're going to talk about the honoring evening because tonight is the 6th annual honoring evening.
Yes.
And an award has been created called the Brenda Farris Award.
Yes.
And she will be here every year to present the Brenda Farris Award.
I agree.
Because we started this, how can we help one more person?
Yeah.
Right? So somebody in our community that epitomizes helping one more person, Lisa Walker is the recipient of the Brenda Farris Award.
Okay. And last year was Mickey Meisner, right? Because she's opening up the new chapter.
Well, and our keynote speaker tonight is Mickey Meisner.
Okay, that's
It's going to be a wonderful
awesome.
evening. So we're freezing for a reason. We'll go home and warm up and clean up, and then tonight we're going to do the honor in the evening, and we'll describe that a little bit more in the second half of the show.
Okay, perfect. I think our break's at 9:30, so I apologize. We still have 2 more minutes. We're not used to
You said
this
2 more
live.
minutes, 2 more minutes.
Yeah. You're right. I think I did. Fair enough. Fair enough. I apologize.
Well, we're so used to having a timer in the studio. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, and surprisingly, I'm not very cold right now.
Yeah.
I thought I would be colder. Last year,
Remember 2 years ago?
I feel like the last 2 years were really cold.
Yeah. Well, 2 years ago, the tent almost blew away.
It was raining.
I mean, I was scratching my skin trying to stay warm because it was so cold that year.
I even had blankets wrapped around me a few years ago too. Yeah, so I feel like this year is much better.
Okay.
I mean, it's cool now because of that fog bank, but it's warming up quickly.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad to hear all of that. Then.
We're just like, thank goodness.
A little bit of comfort in my body in this cold weather.
A little bit of comfort.
Just a wee bit there. But we do know, actually, this is going to an amazing cause. And that's the whole point of it, is that it's going for the kids. It's going for a good cause. And that's why we're willing to do all of this and be in the cold water. And really, to us, it's only just a moment. But to them, it's a big deal. And it helps them a lot.
Well,
and can we sacrifice a little for that big deal right there?
Now I hear music.
There's our cue in. We'll be right back.